So after taking down all these Confederate statues, the Confederate battle flag, the statue of Robert E. Lee in Richmond, Virginia, blank hasn't changed. Oh, this is so rich. This is so good. And there's an article about this over at Fox News I want to share with you. Welcome back to the channel, Culture Confederacy here. It's Wednesday night, so happy Wednesday, everybody. Now, if you're new to the channel, the way we do the channel is it's you, me, my smartphone, a still shot of some kind. I don't do any fancy graphics, epic soundtracks, pretty boy camera angles, nothing like that. And we focus on preserving great art, music, history, and culture. You might get a tinge of politics. We talk about current events. And when it comes to preserving great art, music, history, and culture, you take down everything you disagree with. You start banning books. Well, you're not going to have anything left to write or talk about. Nothing to learn from. So this is a case study, if you will. Now, in a related story, have you seen what's going on in Louisville? And this is over at Art News. So in Louisville, the art historian of this art commission, I think is at the University of Louisville or something. His name is Chris Reitz. He's stepping down. You know why he's stepping down? Because there's this fight of whether or not they want to refurbish this Louis XVI statue that was damaged during the 2020 riots. Of course, this was over the death of Breonna Taylor. So he's afraid that if they refurbish the statue, now, there are some questions about the integrity of the statue because there's some cracks in it, but one of its arms was broken off during the protest. And he's afraid if they put this thing back out there, that it's going to be erasing anti-police protest history. So how do you like that one? That's what's going on in Louisville. So over at Fox News, title of the article here, since Floyd riots called monuments 5 years ago, leaders in ex-Confederate capital lament blank didn't change. Little has changed in Richmond after advocates claimed statue removal would be a fix. And I said it before on this channel, I'll say it again, and I was right all along. Taking down a statue isn't going to change what happened. Not a way burning down isn't going to change what happened. It happened. And all you ghouls out there who are gloating over that, you are no different than Hitler, Stalin, or Mao. Because Hitler, Stalin, and Mao believed in social justice. They did. They took down statues, they burned books, purged their society of all the unwanteds. It's a slippery slope, folks. Slippery slope. So let me go through the article with you here. We'll just kind of skim through this. Now, if I didn't mention the author, it's Chris Reitz. No, pardon me. Chris Reitz is the art historian in Louisville that just stepped down off the art commission. And it's Charles Creitz, last name C-R-E-I-T-Z, who wrote this article for Fox News. So forgive me for the confusion here. We're doing this in one take tonight. Fragments of toppled Civil War monuments still lie in a lot beside Interstate 95 near the Richmond wastewater treatment plant, just a stone's throw from the iconic Marlboro cigarette in South Richmond. There you go. If you want to know anything about the South, it's a Marlboro cigarette and a Robert E. Lee statue. And moonshine. And a woman missing some teeth somewhere in a trailer park. So at any rate. So fragments of toppled Civil War monuments are still lying in a lot beside Interstate 95 near this wastewater treatment plant. And the iconic Marlboro cigarette in South Richmond, the one-time capital of the Confederacy. While Richmond's tobacco trading past remains symbolized by that roadside oddity at the Philip Morris plant, in other cities across the South took swift action to erase reminders of the Civil War and slavery. Slavery. A report Thursday in the Richmond Times-Dispatch looked back at what has, or more so hasn't, transpired as those who had sought the culling of the monuments had hoped in the heat of the George Floyd riots of 5 years ago this week. Again, taking down these statues wasn't going to change a thing. Told you that. Nobody believed me. Little old me here on YouTube. Nobody believed it. But it's so rich to see these people wringing their hands over this. Virginia State Delegate Mike Jones, Democrat Richmond, reported opponent of the monuments, told the paper that blank didn't change when they came down and that real progress was what was sought in erasing the South's pro-slavery and secessionist past. Well, there's nothing racist about secession. There's nothing evil about seceding. You know, like how the government's treating your state, the region you live in, they're going to say, is adios, I'm out of here. Not a damn thing they can do about it. Because there's nothing in the Constitution that prohibits secession. So getting back to the article, quote, as abhorrent as they are, give me my life, my real justice. You can keep your monuments, Jones told the paper. One statue did find a new home as Jefferson Davis, is now on display at the city's Valentine Museum. It still has paint marks on it from when it was besieged by protesters in 2020. And I'd like to point out that this George Floyd incident didn't happen in the South. It happened in Minneapolis. So aren't you demanding that any symbol representing Minneapolis be taken down? Jones told the paper that gun violence and educational-related issues still plague minority communities, and also took a swipe at President Donald Trump in regard to the lack of change since the Floyd riots and monumental upheaval. So now we're bringing Trump into this. So this is Trump's fault. Quote, we didn't really get the monuments because the spirit of them is in the White House right now, he told the Times-Dispatch, as though Donald Trump is holding a seance in the Oval Office, conjuring up the spirits of Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and John C. Calhoun. This man is crazy. While monuments have either been toppled by protesters or removed by municipalities across the South, Richmond, as expected due to its past as the CSA capital, had many in prominent places. The city's tree-lined Monument Avenue was reduced to a series of traffic circles around unremarkable granite pedestals after the removal of effigies of Generals Robert E. Lee, James Ewell Brown, Jeb Stuart, President Jefferson Davis, and local scientist turned Confederate naval officer Matthew Maury. And why aren't you demanding that we take down all these monuments in the North? Because last time I recalled, this is the right way to say it. But last time I checked, there was slavery in the North, and the living slaves at the time weren't free. Usually it was their offspring after so many years of service. Gradual emancipation. Then Governor Ralph Northam's efforts to remove the last of the monuments, Lee's, were briefly blocked by a court as it was originally constructed through private donations and the help of the Democratic Governor Fitzhugh Lee, the general's nephew. Fox News Digital reached out to Lieutenant Governor candidate LeVar Stoney, who is Richmond's mayor, led the effort to remove the monuments, for comment on reports that the removal has brought little meaningful change. So, this candidate for the governor of Virginia, running for governor, he's so embarrassed by this, he's not going to comment to Fox News about it. Sorry, you can't change history by taking down a monument, by burning a book. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. You can follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes. Because to write music in my spare time, you go to X, Culture Confederacy, at Culture Confed 1 on X. Now you can find me at Substack. So thank you again for letting me stumble my way through this, another one-take video. I'll catch you next time, and you all have a great Wednesday night. Take care.